And now it's time for the top 5 most bizarre WWE romances that you've probably forgot about. In this list, I'll be counting down the most obscure bizarre romances. Obviously, everyone remembers Mark Henry and Mae Young, Balls Mahoney and Kelly Kelly, Dusty Rhodes and Sapphire, and Uncle Elmer and Joyce. And now let's get to the list. Number 5. In 2006, Ric Flair walked into a WWE Raw ring and kissed Maria. Maria was hosting the Kiss Cam, and for whatever reason, Ric Flair decided to kiss her. Now, a year earlier, Ric Flair was the Intercontinental Champion. He was backstage, he received a kiss on the cheek from Maria. Now, there isn't really a lot of information out there about Maria and Ric Flair having a romance on TV, but from what I could tell back then, there was definitely some type of plan to have Ric Flair be with Maria. But obviously those plans did not come to fruition. Number 4. Back in 2010, Daniel Bryan was the WWE United States Champion. But the only problem with this was that Vince McMahon thought Daniel Bryan was very uncool. He decided to pair him up with the Bella Twins and Gail Kim. And at one point, it looked like he was going to be paired up with all of the women. Vince McMahon even went so far to holding a dance party for Daniel Bryan inside the ring on an episode of Raw, where several of the women danced with Daniel Bryan. Looking back at this, some people say that the reason why this was done was because Vince McMahon thought Daniel Bryan was not entertaining. Vince McMahon's mindset back then was, if he can have Daniel Bryan dance in the ring with all these women, then he'll show some personality. But all it did was make Daniel Bryan look like a goof. This storyline ended when Daniel Bryan was caught kissing Gail Kim backstage on an episode of Raw, and the Bella Twins caught him. This on-screen romance between Daniel Bryan and Gail Kim did not last very long though, because not too soon after this, Gail Kim actually quit the WWE after eliminating herself from a battle royal. Number 3. This bizarre romance a lot of people probably don't even know about. AJ Lee and Hornswoggle. This was back in 2011 in the final season of the reality competition version of NXT. This was done for complete comedic purposes. At this point, NXT had become like a soap opera, with tons of different romances going on, including a love triangle between Maxine, Derek Bateman, and Johnny Curtis, now known as Fandango. This relationship did not last very long though, because eventually AJ Lee was called up to SmackDown, where she started an on-screen romance with Daniel Bryan. Number 2. Paul Burchill and Katie Lee were kayfabe brother and sister. And the original plan for these two was for them to have a relationship. Yes, you heard that correct. A brother and sister having a romance. When they first appeared on Raw, it was obvious this was the direction that they were going to go into. But very, very quickly, that was dropped. They never kissed, they never made out, they never did anything like that. But it was teased very early on that these two were going to have a romance. They were going to be probably kissing on TV all the time. Eventually, it was basically just Paul Burchill wrestling all the time, with Katie Lee interfering in his matches. And soon, they were both moved to ECW, where Burchill feuded with Gregory Helms and William Regal. Number 1. Vickie Guerrero has had many on-screen romances with WWE superstars. Edge is the most famous one. But a lot of people forget that at one point, Big Show was actually involved in an on-screen romance with Vickie Guerrero. Big Show kissed Vickie Guerrero while being filmed by a hidden camera. When it happened, everyone laughed, people were shocked by it, but this relationship did not last very long, and it quickly ended.